So this all goes back. This actually goes back to Wolfenstein 3D. This is where it starts.
Okay.
There's a character, a local character of note, we'll say, by the name Reactor, who, by his own admission, became so obsessed with some crappy goth metal band called Tristania. And this is by his own admission. He talks about this in one of the 3 novel-length PDFs he includes with the game that he made, that his girlfriend left him during the development of this game, where he obsesses over the female singer of this band called Tristania. It took him somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 years to make this Wolfenstein mod. And again, by his own admission, he tries to make it sound like it was some sort of great creative struggle in his, again, novel-length series of included PDFs. But what it really boils down to is that he's not talented enough to actually program anything on his own, and nobody would make him an engine that would do all the things that he wanted. So he waited until somebody released the source code to their Wolfenstein mod that did just enough of the things that he was willing to settle on it.
Huh.
The guy is basically, if you looked up the Dunning-Kruger effect, this guy is the definition.
Wow.
Oh, no.
So that brings us to the world of Doom. Allow me to link you, if I can, one of the most incredible train wrecks of a forum thread that I've ever seen for Tristania 2.
Oh, wow.
Tristania 2 was to be by his words, a GZ Hexen engine sequel to Tristania 3D. Allow me to read you some of the highlights of this post here. You don't know how it is right here. Brace yourself. Q's, you better beware. You will face danger so major, you will be running scared. Watch yourself around here. Brace yourself. Q's, you better beware. You will face danger so major, you will be running around in terror. Tagline.
Tagline.
Because that's a tagline. The tagline is what appears to be somebody's very shitty lyrics.
I like how he misspelled cause twice in the same way.
Mm-hmm. Then he does his little bit of the story here, where he loves to replace the letter S with Z because he's extreme for the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Listen up, guys. We're heading into enemy territories, you hear? We'll need to work together. I'll personally lead y'all. There are minefields round the Phalanster, and many initiates are scouting the forest along with those drones. So be on your guards.
Oh, boy.
We'll be on our own, guys. No outsiders allowed. We can't let anyone lay their filthy lil paws on that kinda magic powers. We'll be in touch with Mustango. He is at the colony and will navigate us through radio communications if he can. This operation mustn't be scrubbed, guys. No one is taking any chances. No one tried to be the hero. You got that? Twirl's final briefing.
This is like the first draft of the scene in Airplane where with I Can Speak Jive. Like, this is definitely a very white guy assuming that he could talk like a cool black guy.
He's from
in
Poland.
90s. Oh.
He's from Poland, and that's apparently how he thinks that cool people talk.
Wow.
But here's a graphic that you can put up on screen for everybody to see of what he calls the cover art. Now, he claims that this is his very professional work where he hired actors to be models. A, that's clearly a load of bullshit, and B, fucking look at this. You've got disparate cutouts of the members of the band at the top. The girl has a little baby doll hand that some sort of Unreal Tournament weapon is pasted into. And then the bottom, I don't even know what the fuck this is. Somebody's like 3D model of like Disneyland is in the back there. You've got about 4 or 5 different color and saturation levels of people here. Goth girl out of some sort of like Earth Mother clothing catalog there. This fat guy who's eating too much barbecue sauce and is just going, huh?
I feel like that's supposed to be a zombie of some kind.
But I want to point out here, this thread is incredible. The guy clearly has no idea what he's talking about coming into this. He refers to GZ Doom as GZ Hexen because he believes that to use Hexen features, it would only work as Hexen because GZ Doom only would work with GZ Doom. GZ Hexen would be what you use for Hexen, when in reality, GZ Doom covers all of it.
Yeah.
And all features work in anything.
So, like,
he doesn't know what he's talking about here.
Early 2000s, maybe even 99 or earlier. I don't know. It was very early on in Doom modding history that people found out how to make Zed Doom use Hexen features like scripting. And it became the norm, like, immediately. Like, when did he post this? 2012. Yeah,
this was posted 2012.
Yeah, this is at least 10 years after.
10 years too late to be thinking this.
Yeah, every Zed Doom map that used any kind of like scripting or whatever was using Hexen, and so it wasn't like its own special engine. It was just the Zed Doom engine, which later got branched into GZ Doom, which is like the one that everyone uses now. So the fact that he mentions GZ in it says like you're way too late to be making this mistake.
Yeah, he literally does not know how any of this works. However, allow me to read you his feature list. Tristania 2 shall offer many great features. These are, but not restricted to, 3 selectable characters as opposed to 1. Debunking, Anders, Einar, with own campaigns for each. So already...
Okay, that's ambitious.
He looked at Daikatana. He looked at Daikatana and said, no, you can have 3 characters in that, but no. This one's going to have 3 characters, and each one will have a complete set of unique levels per character. Brilliant sounds and music. Outstandingly wonderful dark gothic atmosphere with weather effects. Extremely intelligent enemies.
No.
20 levels for each character plus 5 secret levels with various unique themes. Various landscapes, including desert, icy, the mist, which is capitalized as in like it's a proper noun. We should know what this means, but of course we don't. Cathedral and forest. Tons of secret areas and Easter eggs. 7 different weapons for each character. That'll be 21 altogether. This includes close combat weapons.
Oh no, he lists every single one.
Vibroblade, thermic lance. Conventional weapons, Kruger, Reason, DT, Z-Type, FG-42 paratroop rifle, Sabrine MK4 series. Energy weapons, Prism rifle, Pulsar rifle, Sonic oscillator. Heavy weapons, missile launcher, Pershing cannon, Solitar, mortar, and of course, super weapons.
Of course.
Photon cannon, PWT disruptor launcher, Incinerate with 4 exclamation marks. Lots of useful items such as artifacts, portable bottles of absinthe, talismans, Fisher defenses, Nova, Sandhog, and much more. Because again, these items are self-explanatory. I know what a Nova is. I know what a Sandhog is.
I know what an Incinerate is with 4 exclamation marks.
Yeah. Exciting storyline.
I like the, of course, super weapons. Like, he has, like, the different groups of weapons, and I'm sitting here thinking, but what about super weapons? Do you have super weapons? And he's like, yes, we do.
Obviously. That's the first thing you ask going into a project is, does it have super weapons? Okay? Because if it doesn't, I'm out. But here we go. Let me get into this. There's more here that makes this so much better. Since Tristania 2 shall be more modern than its predecessor was, and the Z-Hexen/GZ Hexen engine has more possibilities, there shall be more features. During that time I was working on Tristania 3D, I managed to stack up enormous amount of resources. More than 25,000 different wall types and 4,000 static objects.
What?
Plus, I'm also working on the soundtrack of Tristania 2 right now, apart from songs which are performed by the band. I have mastered my skills on graphics, sounds, music, and level editing.
Oh boy.
My lifelong friend has also knowledge in map editing and action scripts, so the great majority of the game, 80%, shall be single-handedly put together by me.
Wow.
This is why I am writing this. I can do simply everything, excluding one thing. The programming.
Yeah.
Ideas Guy! Everyone's favorite forum poster.
I was literally about to say ideas guy.
I have absolute zero knowledge in programming and the quote-unquote decorated shit, which Z-Hexen and G-Hexen uses. Therefore, I am requesting the assistance of experienced and talented programmers here in this forum, who can program the desired features into the engine flawlessly. I have absolutely no talents in decorate and programming, so in this aspect, I have to rely on you.
He said that his friend has knowledge in action scripts. I mean, decorate is a lot like the action scripts. It's pretty easy to use. I mean, I get some people.
Decorate is easier than like the ACS scripting, so
yeah, it's I get there are certain people who it's just not within their wheelhouse, but he has someone who knows how to use action script. He should be set.
So if we scroll down through here, we got a number of people in here going, hey, here's some tutorials. Here's some easy tutorials on how to do this stuff. And his immediate response to that is, well, as I said, I got more than 40% of the game already. I got most of the enemies, all the wall graphics, all the static objects graphics, most of the sounds and music. As I said before, I will do all by myself what I'm capable of. However, I have absolutely no knowledge of programming whatsoever. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is how most game developing communities work,
What?
including id Software. 2 to 3 people does the programming and coding, 2 more people works on the sounds and music, 4 to 5 people works on the graphics, 1 or maybe 2 people creates levels, and so on.
You said you could do it all yourself.
Yeah. Lucky for me, I had plenty of time to learn everything which doesn't require programming, mathematics, arithmetics, and so on. After all, nobody is a one-man software creating company.
Lots of people are.
I would be most happy if I could already show you screenshots. However, this requires all the features to be done. I can't design a map if there's no foundation to build at. Level editing is the very final phase of game development.
What?
So this is like the definition of putting the idea that he ripped 25,000 assets from other Doom mods, I assume is what happened, or else he just got a CD that has a bunch of graphics that uses textures.
Oh, no. Here's the funny part about that, all right? I want to point this out. Because the fucking guy says, I have 25,000 wall textures, 4,000 static objects, I have all this and that, and I made them all myself.
Yeah, he did.
He got caught in a fucking lie on that one, because he was posting all of these threads on, the resources forum, going hey, guys, here's a thing that I made that you guys could use maybe if you want, but I'm making it for Tristania 2. Somebody finally pointed out, hey, all of this shit was ripped from some obscure East European FPS. He was ripping shit from games nobody had heard of and was just saying that he made it because nobody had heard of the game. And when someone finally did, he was no, because I still had to rip them. So that's what I meant when I said I made it was I made it.
As soon as he said 25,000, everyone is instantly suspicious. Like, you did not make 25,000. Like, at best you
No.
at best you got like a CD of like free assets that you can use, and it's just like a CD of clip art, and he's like, I'm making the clip art into my own graphics. Like 25,000 textures. Like that there's no way somebody does that.
If you look at page 2 here, you'll see his let's see. Here's some of his resources that he's got. And let's see, the floor set, which appears to be like a photo from like a stock image catalog that you would use for like scrapbook designing or something.
Yeah, that's what I was
The next thing, his 2D objects in the second thing, I seem to recognize as being from an obscure Polish FPS called Target, which, again, not his creation.
So it's all lies.
It's all lies and entitlement. I love just reading some of the shit that he defends his positions from is like, examples are fine, of course. However, I don't know if there are GZ Hexen mods to learn from, as most of you seem to be modding Doom, not Hexen. So this is a big problem for a start. Secondly, secondly, if I'm a complete dumbass for programming, how should I know what does what? It's like reading Chinese for me. The most I can do is copy pasta.
Okay then.
I'm still kind of stuck on how he's like,
does not think that Doom and Hexen.
He says like level editing is the last step.
Yeah, no.
He thinks that getting all of those resources, the wall textures and graphics, is 90% of the work, and he's pretty much done, and he hasn't done any levels yet.
No levels are done yet, and also you need to have the programming done before you do maps, because I've played prototype games before that were never released, and when you play the game, there's no levels, but all of the stuff works because they had to get that done before they could make the levels in the prototypes.
Game development is hard.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where he spends most of this thread stubbornly arguing about why he literally cannot learn how to use Decorate, and somebody has to hold his hand and do this for him because he just can't do it. It's just not possible. It's like you sit here and you read this, and it's like, if you spent more of the time you're spending arguing about why you can't do it, reading these examples, maybe you would fucking figure out like what you're trying to do here. But the problem is he comes from the Wolfenstein scene, and Wolfenstein modding is actually very different from the way that Doom modding is done traditionally, because GZ Doom allows you to script new things into the game. Wolfenstein, no one ever made a version of Wolfenstein until very recently that allowed you to script things. You had to put code changes directly into the C coding and compile the engine with new features in it. And the way that a lot of people were sharing feature sets that you could put into your Wolfenstein mods in the Wolfenstein community was that they would paste snippets of code and tell you where to insert it into the source code so that it would add this feature. That's what he expected to find in the Doom community, was people who'd be willing to write the shit for him and say, put this in your game, and that will make your thing do what you want to do. When the fact of the matter is, it's a scripting language that literally has things in it like health equals number. This is how you define how much health an actor has, is by putting health equals number. And somehow he's sitting there arguing that reads to him like Chinese. I don't understand this. Health equals 50? What does that mean? The funniest thing is this goes on and on and on. And even the thread gets locked at the end of this. The guy continued to post shit elsewhere talking about, this is still happening. I'm still working on it.
Did it ever come out?
I doubt it.
No, it has still not come out.
If he can't figure out the scripting or whatever, that's a pretty big roadblock.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
But so the thing I want to point out here at the end of all of this is this guy hates my guts because I pointed out to him so sternly all of these just ridiculous stances he was taking and how absurd this whole thing was. He tried to get revenge on me in the most hilariously inept way that I think I have ever seen done.
Was it in the YouTube comments?
Oh no, it's much better than that. You've heard of Encyclopedia Dramatica, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So there's an obscure page on Encyclopedia Dramatica about the Doom community, and then it has sub-pages about the Doom communities that have sprung up around the Doom community. And in the part that talks about Z-Doom, someone pointed out to me a few years ago that somebody put in a bit about me. And I was like, oh my, what did they write about me in the Z-Doom community? And they said, there's this big, stupid jerk asshole named Zero X Diamond who thinks that he's the smartest and coolest guy who ever lived, but he's a big, stupid jackass, and he only works in the Z-Doom community because the Wolfenstein community ran him out on a rail and said he could never come back. And first of all, that's not true. What really happened was I got bored of it because Wolfenstein modding is like drawing cute, like squares on a piece of grid paper.
Yeah.
And it's boring and limited, and when Doom modding got easier, I'd moved on to that. But second of all, I immediately said when someone told me about this was Reactor, right? And all these people were like, no, come on. How can you prove that? Someone went into the history, the edit history, and literally found, oh, this was added by an account named Reactor. This specific bit. Yeah. That was his idea of a sick burn, was to put an obscure reference on an obscure Encyclopedia Dramatica page calling me a pee-pee-poo-poo wiener head. So anyways, if you'd like to see his first released project, Tristania 3D, there is coverage of that on my YouTube page, wherein we not only play some of his crappy game, but also go through the PDF files where he goes over what an artistic genius he believes that he is, and subsequently reveals that he A, has no idea what he's doing, and B, is so obsessed with the singer of this band that his girlfriend left him.
Wow. That's all I got. Like, this is a lot to digest.
Also, by the time that it took him to finish the mod, she had left the band. So the girl he was obsessed with wasn't even in the band anymore by the time he got his tribute to the band out. So if you want to find that video, look on YouTube for ZXD's Discount Funland. It's a place where I put the edited bits of my my streams up. It's very outdated, very, very outdated, because I have 5 years of content to get through and I have no one to help me with it. But that one is up. It's within one of my FPS garbage videos. All the subjects that are covered in each video are in the description. I don't remember which number it is, but you will easily be able to find it by looking in the description. And that's a ride. That's a ride in and of itself. So, in conclusion, Reactor, if you're out there, you're like a giant piss baby, and I love you for it.
Oh, you totally got revenge on him.
Yeah.
All right, looking at my watch, that's 16 episodes before somebody used this platform that you gave them, Tom, in order to be very, very petty about internet drama.
Mm-hmm. And allow me to throw in here one more thing. And I know that there's probably going to be people who may find this this podcast and feel like they need to point out in the comments to say that, well, that Zero X Diamond said that it was very hilariously sad that he attempted to burn him by posting on an obscure part of an obscure article on Encyclopedia Dramatica, but he just burned him on somebody's Backwater podcast that like 10 people listen to.
Backwater.
Here's the difference, though.
What are we? Are we considered backwater?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't realize I've been
so.
slumming it this whole time. If I had known, I would have taken my pants off.
But allow me to point out a very distinct difference here.
Yeah.
See, for him, the insult on Encyclopedia Dramatica was some sort of incredible masterstroke revenge ploy. For me, this is Monday, and I'm just having a fucking laugh at an idiot's expense. I have nothing at stake, and I don't care. I just think it's funny to hand him a mud pie and then smash his face in it and say, there.
Now I'm hungry. You mentioned pie.
For mud?
No, pie.
I like pie.
Yeah, no mud part. All right.
I think there's no better way to end this than to say, yes, I agree, I like pie.